Hello and welcome to Lakeside. Lakeside is a fun little Koth map. It looks to be very open, very DM focused, like you're just going to walk around and take fights, but it's kind of deceptive in that manner because Lakeside's actually really difficult to play, really difficult to understand, really difficult to push and hold unless you know what you're doing and you've sat there and you've labbed out a lot of ideas and strats for pushing. So, we're going to go through all this. Just make sure you're keeping that keeping aware of that. It is not that simple. It is not that easy. It is not a monkey DM map. It is actually very difficult. Your main classes that you're going to be needing to tank and worry about are your scouts, your demos, your snipers. Obviously, it's going to be very open. Your medic's going to be run at half the time. So as long as you're keeping tabs on the enemy sniper, making sure that you have your scout close to your combo to chase after kills, you're going to be having quite a fun time. As usual, we're going to go over mid fights first, then defense, then offense, and then after that, I'd usually take questions, but this is a video, so just at me in lecture discussion and we'll work with this. So let's hop right into it. So how do you take the mid fight? Well, as usual, you're just gonna have your demo roll out over there. I can't. There we go. Demo roll out like that. So just once again, it's really simple, really clean and easy. From spawn, once you hop over here, it's just two stickies. Right there, right there. Really simple. Now you can arrive closer to the midpoint or further back, however you want. There's also a way to not take fall damage on that second jump, so you arrive just skimming over the top of the bridge and arriving just at a good time, but, that's just a matter of practice and a matter of personal preference. So, while that's happening, your demo's just going to roll out. Obviously, take that initial first barrage of sticky trades and pipe trades, what have you, all that's pretty fun stuff, and then your combo's all going to arrive out behind, and your players are all going to show up. So, combo, most of you should kind of gather generally behind Obelisk over here. Start looking to take this mid-fight consistently. Medic, Heavy, Pyro, all of you group up over here. Your sniper tends to go over towards Bats, or just any one of the other sniper angles. But Bats, for our purposes, just for this moment, is good. Just have your sniper show up here. Look for this initial pick across mid. Slowly wide peek, take the SVS, and then as needed, you can walk right over and play dance floor and play wide angle here. Meanwhile, your flank, in this case, mostly really just meaning your soldier and your NG, are going to be coming over here to take responsibility over ruins into Bathhouse. I have a lot to say about this because this can change quite a bit depending on how you want to take the mid-fight, but for, again, just for starting purposes, this is where you guys are going to go. You're going to show up here and take Bathhouse, and then once you control this, you can push all the way through and fight their combo, who is hiding behind Obelisk, from a sideways angle, and that will allow your combo to push forward. We will talk about both those things there, the sniper and the flank, a little differently because it's not always the case that this is exactly what happens. Sometimes, well, a lot of the times, things change. But yeah, that's for now. Alright, so what does your combo do? Well, your combo really just shows up and starts trying to take this damage trade here. The biggest thing that I can really try to drill into you guys is that for the demo man, when you show up, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually walk across point and take fights here. And it's just difficult for any class really to just walk directly across point and start trying to take pressure. Take space and put pressure on them. The reason being that Heavy sitting over an Obelisk are exceptionally good at denying any kind of aggression. Your Heavy can kind of just like see if their players are over-peaking a little bit. Your Heavy can hide behind this Obelisk, see stickies fly out, expect the demo man's over about there in that sticky, wide peek this, and suddenly, like even just with this little extra bit of peeking, suddenly the demo man has to walk through all this ground over here in order to get out of that Heavy's firing range. So, first order of notice, remember, it is very easy to get punished for over-aggression here on Lakeside. You really need to know what you're committing into. You need to be aware of what kind of fight you're going to take. You do not want to just walk in and suddenly feed to a sniper on Bats, a Heavy watching that, a scout that walks forward in two pipes or something, so make sure you know what you're doing. So there's always the standard option, which is to just sit behind here, lob damage over these stairs, and try to walk players forward and start edging the cap, which is a really simple, easy way to do it. There's also the straight-up all-in approach, which is to just barrel everyone directly across the far side of point over here, further away from Bathhouse. So the idea here is literally to just cross as many players quickly as possible right through, so that you can just suddenly appear on top of them without them spotting you or taking damage. So in a case like this, is really simple. You're just gonna have your Heavy cross this really close, gonna walk right across here because you want your Heavy to peep around this corner in perfect minigun range. Meanwhile, your demo should be taking this wider, kind of far back, so that your demo is in a good sticky range. And then that's kind of the approach here. Just walk forward, take fights, do all this stuff here. Now, obviously, the combo side of things is really simple. There's really not much to it. It's not like Product or Asheville where you have a specific approach to the mid-fight and then you want to take an Uber from a specific angle or anything like that. There's no real principle there. It's really just hit damage at them until they give it up and fight. So it really is that simple. But all the magic on this mid-fight happens with where the sniper goes and where your flank decides to position. So let's talk about sniper on mid-fights first. So like I mentioned right at the start, this tends to be the standard option for snipers. Just show up over onto bats, take that angle, and you can slowly wide peek this, check over ruins real quick, bridge, and then take the SVS onto bats. And obviously this is kind of the standard easy position because this puts you in a really nice safe spot at the very start of the mid-fight where people can't immediately shoot at you except the enemy sniper. And then eventually if you want to transition to playing with your combo, I mean, they're right there. It's not a long rotation at all. It's fairly simple to just take one shot and then rotate and play with your combo. You can also just eventually make your way over to bridge, which is another wide open angle. You'd think this is kind of unprotected and unsafe, but the reality is that if you play like right on the open side, there's very few spots that spies can decloak and chase after you, so you're pretty much free to just sit over here and take straight SVSs and try to control the entire map, so it's pretty cool. The other approach that I tend to prefer, but isn't quite as meta, you could say, is for snipers to show up over to the flank side of the map first. So this is something that you would do if you're trying to have your combo take control over... Sorry, not combo. If you're trying to have your team take control over bathhouse early and make sure your flank just gets all the space they want, you just have your sniper roll out early through ruins, and your sniper just hard scopes these angles first. Clears this, clears this. If the soldier shows up, your sniper just needs to hit a nice body shot, doesn't even need to get the kill. As long as that soldier is taking like 100 damage right off the bat from a sniper body shot, your soldier just runs in and cleans that fight up and wins it, obviously. So it's an easy path to getting a pretty early foothold in bathhouse if that's the way your team wants to go. And then after this, once your sniper takes control of this, he can transition into pressuring point from this position and then eventually working his way into bathhouse, which is also a very strong sniper angle. It just comes over here, plays closer, starts watching all these wide angles, and you also get that nice angle into bats further onto point, and then even looking into their hold underneath obelisk. So this is a really strong, hyper-aggressive way to play sniper if you manage to take control of their bats. Sorry, take control of bathhouse with your team. And, you know, it's just another way of approaching that. Finally, the other way to approach it is just the bog standard classic way to do it, which is to just roll out with your combo and just sit with them. So the way you do this is literally just scope directly across the stairs and wait for people to peek you. And there's really nothing wrong with this. You just need to have the confidence to hit your shots because you are within sneezing range of their combo. They can try to chase you out and two-pipe you or something like that, so just be aware of that. So, alright, let's talk real quick about that flank and what's going to happen there. So, like I said, you know, the flank does... It's easy to think of the flank as taking over bathhouse because that's kind of the standard approach to Koth. Like, the combo goes one way, the flank goes the other, and then you have them meet in the middle somewhere. But the reality of this fight is that when you look at bathhouse, it's actually really difficult to push and consistently hold because the only entrances into this house are 3 different really tight choke points. Really, really tight. And the ones that your flank will have to enter through are even tighter and directly facing each other. So this is oftentimes kind of a difficult thing to take control of consistently, and sometimes you might even end up with just 2 flank members sitting across, kind of spamming rockets, never really dealing with each other. So, you know, I wouldn't say it's wrong to still take over a bathhouse. You can still try to approach this way, but I do want to make a clear point of saying there is another way of doing this that is becoming widely more and more known and more accepted, which is to whip your heavy all the way through mid as usual, and when you show up to the mid fight, you're going to have whip speed, mind you, so this jump is going to go further than it looks on my screen, but you're going to have whip speed, and you're going to just show up across mid and do a high bomb off of this, and you can just jump onto their dance floor and start playing the mid-fight from behind them right off the bat. Really super early. The nice bonus of this is also you get to jump on top of their sniper immediately. If he happens to be playing bats over here, you just get on top of that sucker and start trying to blow him down, and that way maybe you can secure your team an early sniper advantage. And if he doesn't happen to be here, this is still a perfectly solid, excellent way to play this mid-fight. You just sit right behind their combo, sit all the way here and just spam rockets at them and chip reliable 40 damage rockets from that range. That'll knock their health down consistently such that your combo will just be able to walk directly across in a timely fashion. So this is a really good, aggressive way to approach that mid. Your team should be aware that if your soldier is trying to do this, it's very likely that you guys are going to lose bathhouse pretty early, and your combo will probably have to worry about aggression through that main door bathhouse. So just be aware of that. Otherwise, yeah, the approach tends to be pretty standard nonetheless. It's just show up over here, take the fight through bathhouse, and then eventually, if you guys have control, this tends to be the most reliable way to play your bathhouse control. As a soldier, you just need to sit in this doorway and spam them again. And then if you see your combo going in for a chase, then you can just kind of bomb off of that, chase them. Otherwise, a lot of soldiers also like doing the really flashy high bomb from the side here, where they just kind of nudge their way up across this, and then go for that high bomb. And this way you get to hit the skybox, not literally, and then land on top of their medic. So that's a nice way to do that. Final note about that flank is that, like I mentioned early, it's probably better for you to have your scout play pretty damn close to combo, so your flank should not get used to having a scout nearby. I will go... Actually, I'll just mention that real quick. So, like I said, it is better for scouts to show up on the mid-fight, but once your scout shows up on the mid-fight, there tends to be a couple approaches. The first that I recommend is just staying pretty close to combo and taking the heal beam and then trying to punish anyone that's playing across point. Because you, as a scout, you can edge the cap pretty consistently and duck in and out of cover much, much more reliably than your other combo members can. Remember how I said at the start that aggression is very easily punished on Lakeside? This mostly does not apply to the scout, who's in a much better position to deny that kind of aggression. Sorry, not deny aggression, who is in a much better position to take that kind of aggression and then jump out as needed, because he can just pop in and out of these sight lines and take a lot less damage than their players will. So, on top of that, if they try to duck behind cover, your scout can kind of just poke over here, take one or two cheap pot shots, run back. You know, it's pretty easy for your scout to run in and try to secure a kill when your demo lands 200 damage or something. So it's pretty good to have a scout sitting close to combo for most of this fight. But if your scout's more interested in trying to help that flank out, because maybe your flank is just having a lot of trouble trying to fight that, then understandable, all your scout needs to do is just kind of run straight through over here. Obviously, see if you can get a couple shots in on that demo as he arrives on mid, but then you can just run straight through this doorway, which helps a lot, because then you can just kind of run straight through and arrive in bathhouse from a different door than the one that their players are undoubtedly just like fighting constantly, which is that one right there, where the soldier and the sniper are locking down. Then you just come through an alternative angle and you just show up and you fight from this position. So on top of that, obviously you arrive here having come with your medic, take a buff, fight there. Pretty cool, pretty nice stuff. All right, that is pretty much the basics of the mid fight. Like I said, it is, for the most part, just a matter of trading spam and walking forward with your team consistently based on where your sniper's watching and whether or not your soldier's got a nice aggressive position. So there's really not a huge deal to talk about in terms of the mid-fight. It is more or less that simple. As always, not as always, but like I mentioned, if you have questions, leave them in the lecture discussion channel and mention me for them, and I'll get to them after I'm done. Alright, and we're moving on to defense. Defense. Once you have captured the point, you're going to find out that holding on Lakeside is actually pretty fun. Pretty cool stuff. There's a lot you can do, a lot of aggressive stuff you can play, and a lot of ways to choke their players out of any kind of peeking and stuff. So, you know, it's pretty nice, I have to say. I highly recommend defending on Lakeside. So, here's the deal. You've captured the point. You've got basically 3 ways to approach this. The first, I don't really have too much to say. You're really just going to sit over here underneath the obelisk, and for the most part, just try to sit around and like, hold from behind as usual. Your Heavy's going to be over on obelisk. He's going to sit over here and, you know, like, deny any kind of aggression across these sides. Your demo's going to sticky up the point, try to deny them from peeking for free. It is what it is. You're not really going to see too much that's unusual from this position. Everyone else is just in a nice standard position to take these fights. So, yep, behind obelisk is where you will tend to group up if things are going wrong. Not just going wrong, but if things happen to be, you know, like, you just don't want to be that forward. Alright, so second is the one I really want to talk about. Second, apart from holding behind obelisk, is the one where you hold in bathhouse. So, bathhouse is a very particular hold. You'll see a lot of teams try to hold this consistently, aggressively. I don't recommend doing that. You might look at VODs and see a lot of teams doing this bathhouse hold virtually every time. I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to tell you to hold bathhouse when A, you have you won the mid-fight convincingly, so you had most of your players alive and most of theirs were dead, or something to that effect, where, you know, you just kind of clearly won and they just let you have it without too much losses. And you have either even Uber or sizable Uber ad. So either they're like more than 50% down from you, or, you know, you already have the Uber and it doesn't really matter whether or not they have it. So here's the gist of this. You guys are going to be sitting over in Bathhouse here, and you're going to be using the fact that Bathhouse is a tiny building with 3 choke points that they can try to push you through. In which case, like, what are they going to do? Walk through tight choke points? They're not going to do it. You know, it's really difficult to push players out of Bathhouse. And while you guys are sitting in Bathhouse, you just need to deny anyone from capping the point. You don't really need to peek too much. You don't need to take too many aggressive fights. It's really just a matter of stopping them from capping the point. It's really that simple. So here's rule number 1. Like I said, you need your Ubers and you need your sniper alive. This Bathhouse hold does not work if your sniper is dead. It straight up does not. Your sniper needs to be alive and it needs to be babied the hell out of. You cannot let your sniper die during these holds to a spy, to a scout running in or whatever. Like, your sniper just needs to be alive. Okay, so where do you put your players on this Bathhouse hold? You're going to drop a dispenser up here in this little arch, and you're... Sorry, not in this arch. It's... The dispenser is actually going to go underneath it, but then your medic's going to sit up there pretty nice and safe inside the arch. And just nice and tucked away. Your combo, or rather I should say pretty much 5 players. 5 players are going to be devoted to this main section over here. So for the most part, I highly recommend you keep your sniper right here, and obviously a demo and a heavy goes without saying. You guys are going to be pretty aggressive over here against this corner. It's mostly 90% of the work is going to be done through this doorway, through your demo and your sniper. Your demo is going to be over here, sticking up the point, controlling kind of tight angles, making sure they don't get to walk in for free, shit like this. Your demo just sits over here and makes sure that they don't cap. You can sit over here, spam point, control as much as you can, take fights, take beam, all that's pretty nice. Your heavy is going to be sitting right behind your demo, trying to help win this, and then obviously peek over and fight point if your demo is landing any damage, or if he's calling out something's going on, and then your heavy just sits over here and controls that, and obviously spy checks as well. Your sniper needs to be sitting over on these positions here and trying to lock down the long angle. So your sniper has control over bats from this position, and then also it can kind of take that long angle down into under bats, where their combo will most likely try to push out of. And then if your sniper has to, you can just kind of play back and start hard scoping players that are trying to fight the point. And then your pyro, well, first of all, I want to make one thing clear. Your pyro no longer needs to spy check for your quote-unquote combo, because your medic should be hiding right in here in this little ledge where their spy can pretty much literally never get your medic. So your medic does not need to be spy checked for. Your combo is sitting right here in the middle of the heat of things, and the sniper's right here. So there's pretty much only one spot your pyro needs to check in terms of making sure spies don't get there. And the most important thing is, you can even lose your demo, you can lose your heavy, do not lose your sniper. If your sniper's sitting over here watching this wide angle, your pyro is literally going to be responsible for sitting on your sniper's ass and making sure your sniper does not die to a spy. And here's where spies will often try to do things. They'll like decloak behind here while you guys are all bunched up and no one's able to call out a spy decloak. They might decloak right in the corner, come on top here. But here's the most common one. Spies will decloak outside over here, where people aren't actively watching, maybe a little further out, and they'll round this corner and then come over here and get a sniper if he's playing too far out. So your pyro should just be kind of like puffing flames, constantly controlling this, and every once in a while throw something in this direction. Just make sure that your sniper does not go down. You do not want to let that guy go down, because he is the absolute linchpin of this. Alright. Before we go over the actual Uber of this hold and what makes this hold so strong, let me talk real quick about your flank and what they're doing. Your flank, your soldier, and your NG. Again, your scout mostly combo. Your scout can kind of help and chip in on fights here, but I should make a clear distinction right here. This is mostly your soldier and your NG. You just need to be asserting some kind of control over their ruins over here. You don't need to be actively fighting over it and out here, but this often helps a lot if you can like keep the fight out on ruins before it even gets close to your combo. It just makes things a lot easier. So you can drop like a super hyper aggressive mini out here that punishes players that try to walk forward and chase after kills on you guys when you're hurt. You can be like, ah, I'm hurt, and then you duck back, they walk out, chase you, look, mini kills them. Pretty nice stuff. And then yeah, it's just a matter of trying to fight this, control this, don't let them get this out, and you can also spot out stuff coming from main if your combo needs that. Here's the super nice thing about this is, if you guys have super solid control over their ruins, you own it, and they're not contesting it, and they're not trying to take it back from you guys, your sniper wouldn't even need to play over in that big doorway over here, in the main doorway for Bathhouse. Your sniper would just need to come over here and start playing this long angle under the protection of your flank. You have your engineer just sitting on top of your sniper, make sure he doesn't get spied. Your soldier just watches this tunnel, make sure they don't get to walk out there for free, and then your sniper just watches this monster of an angle, where their combo can't do shit about it, and the only thing your sniper would have to worry about is potentially losing an SVS. So this is crazy if your flank can get out here. It's pretty good, and then your sniper, if he's getting a little threatened, duck back in here, no harm, no foul, come back, play the combo angle. Nothing wrong with that. Alright. So that is mostly what your flank is doing. Just control that. If your flank is having a bit of trouble, you can say heavy can come over here and help me out. Your heavy just rotates, comes over, plays this doorway, starts peeking this, and start trying to dissuade people from pushing through. It's not too difficult to control. You guys do also have a full health kit and a dispenser, so you really should just be winning that fight most of the time if you have to. Alright, so here comes the real figure, real power of this. So what makes this hold so powerful? Doesn't it look like they can just try to cap it and stuff you guys into this hold and prevent you from capping it for free? Well, here's why you need an Uber. You need an Uber because if they deign to even think about trying to commit to capping this point, if they bring their heels out and they're trying to play aggressively over here, stuff you guys in, keep everyone close, you just need to bring your demo and your scout out. Your scout is critical in this. Your main caller needs to be really letting your scout know that their combo is close and to expect to take an Uber. All you need to do is walk out over there with your scout and then just run at their combo, because look at how far their combo has to run in order to get out of the line of sight and out of the fight here. And your scout can just run straight at their medic, straight at their combo players throughout this entire hold, just chase as much as possible, and your demo's coming from the back over here, lobbing stickies, lobbing pipes, putting out damage, making sure that they don't get to run out for free. They have to deal with that Uber. And then that's just the way it is for free. If they're trying to leave through main, obviously you're just kind of sticky that up in advance. As they're trying to leave, they should be running out through under bats, and that's why you just have your demo come over here and chase. So, yep, it's literally that simple. If they play too close, they're trying anything funny, they're trying to cap, just Uber out with your demo and your scout and chase the hell out of them. Kill everything that you see. Don't let them get anything for free. And then once you've killed like 2 of their combo members, their demo and their heavy, and now they're defenseless, you just keep pressuring. You just keep chasing with everyone. Have everyone walk out of bathhouse, chase the hell out of them, commit, kill their medic. Don't let them regroup and retake everything. And that's all you need to do, is just the moment they try any kind of aggression without any adequate setup, you just run at them with your scout and your demo. And there's really not much they can do, because there's just too much ground for them to have to leave, and there's not enough warning before suddenly you guys are in their faces. Alright, if your scout is dead, obviously you can just choose to take a pyro out, but it's not going to be as good for the chasing. You should probably have your soldier and well, really just your soldier high bomb and try to chase that out with your combo. If your scout happens to be dead, it's really just the most important thing, is that you have someone that's capable of chasing and walking out. So, if for whatever reason you guys take a poor Uber and you're not able to sufficiently chase them out and kill their medic, and you just haven't convincingly won this defense, well, let me tell you something. You really don't want to just linger here too long, because they can brute force their way into the bathhouse if you don't have an Uber. They can do the thing like I mentioned where they just sit with their players over behind on stairs and just lob stickies into this doorway and make it really difficult for you guys to even peek this doorway and hold point. That's all they need to do, is just make sure that you don't even peek, because this is a choke point. It's difficult for you guys on defense to also push through to actually block the point. So just be aware that, if you guys are running into this trouble with that, you can't actively fight the point. Well, it's time to give the bathhouse hold up. You should spot this in advance. You shouldn't wait until they're already on the point capping, because then you don't have the time to do that. But if you can spot it out in advance and say, oh yeah, we don't have the necessary numbers or the necessary classes, the players, and the Uber in order to contest point when they do try to do something like that, rotate out of bathhouse, come through the back, and then just come over here and set yourself back up in under obelisk, where you can just take a regular mid-fight like hold and just delay them as much as possible. So that's really the gist of that. Alright, so that is the bathhouse hold. Remember, questions, lecture discussion, you know the drill. So, finally, maybe you don't want to do something as ridiculously complicated, despite the fact that bathhouse is super strong. Maybe you don't want to do that. You want to try something a little more straightforward, a little easier to understand based on the other forward holds from the other Koth maps. So, it's really simple. You stand on point with your combo. Yeah, that's it. You win the point, you have your combo set up here, kind of aggressively from this position, and then you have your sniper also really far up over here, and your main goal is really just to try to control under bats over here. This is the main angle that you don't want to let them out through, because if they come out through main, well, it's a lot more ground that they have that they can't use to dodge and duck and weave and take a fight, so you just need to shoot them if they're trying to do that. Come over wide here and, take a fight, have your scout chase them. You get the drill. Let's just take a straight fight. But for the most part, it is really just a matter of having your entire combo kind of aggressive up here. Your medic just needs to kind of sit kind of close to the back over here, not walk into a sniper sight line. Don't let them peek you guys. Your demo and your heavy are just aggressive up here trying to fight. Your heavy is obviously just sitting over here trying to protect everyone, and then he can kind of play a little more forward should the need arise. And then, yeah, it's just really straightforward. Not much to it. Everyone up here, just control that. Your flank just needs to be aggressive in Bath and on their ruins as well, and you guys can just fight from here. And there's really not much to it. When you drop players, you just need to back off over to under Obelisk as usual, and then you can just continue to fight that. So, yep, questions, lecture discussion, drill, yada yada. Alright, so how do you push Lakeside? How do you take control of the point? Well, for starters, if they're holding behind Obelisk, there's really not much for me to say. It is really just a matter of you just need to walk up over to Obelisk, like set yourself back up over here and start playing this like it's a mid-fight. There's really not much to it in that regard. Oh, before I said that, I should have said. So, when you guys lose point and you're trying to regroup, this is your standard regrouping position. Over here, over on these pillars, behind main. So you just come over here and start having your medic sit in one of these little cubbies. Probably not if you don't want your medic to get chased without any way to leave, but just like sit over here. It's pretty safe. No sniper angles into this position exist, so you can just kind of hide. Pretty fun times, and then yeah, your combo regroups and you decide how you want to take this fight. So the standard angle to repush is to come out through under bats, because it's always easiest to push through an angle where you get to clear one choke at a time, one angle at a time. So if you're walking out here, you can check sniper. Is he over on that side? Is he over on that side? You know, you just get to clear one thing at a time. So it's easiest to hug a wall, so to speak, and then come out there. And have your sniper regroup with combo. Come over here, take heals, look for the SVS initially. Come over here, look into bathhouse, clear all this stuff. It's pretty cool. Once you guys have control, you can bring your sniper over to bats. You get the drill, and you can slowly say, okay, they're not holding super aggressively. You can walk up over here and start playing kind of far up over into our Obelisk, and then take that like a mid-fight. So, now we talk about how do you deal with people who are holding on point. It's point first, because this is the simpler one. So, like I said, it is really straightforward. You just need to make sure you don't walk directly into the line of sight and eat the shit that they're doing. This is really a matter of tanking your sniper and your demo. So your sniper needs to take buffs over here, and then your sniper needs to come over here and start trying to lock them off of that right side point, that far side point. Make sure they don't get to stay there. Make sure that they don't get to linger and keep their sniper. If your sniper wins the SVS outright, even better, because then they just fuck off, and you guys get to walk out for free and not really worry too much about that, apart from obviously spies and shit, but that's pretty much it. So, bring your sniper out over here, have him take this fight. If your sniper can't find their sniper, but he's trying to lock an angle down and see if he can walk in slowly while their demo's like, I'm going to spam you. Okay, that's where your demo, who's buffed, should take a buff, walk out, and then create a bit more space while your sniper's locking this angle, because then your demo can come over here, hit some damage, create a bit of room, make them start thinking about backing out, and then once you guys have effectively knocked them off, your demo calls that they're backed, you guys are like, it's safe to move. You walk up, and then there you go. They're behind Obelisk, you guys are behind Obelisk, it's a mid-fight. Just play this like a mid-fight. Alright, so here's the real juice of Lakeside. So, what do you do against someone who's holding Bathhouse? Well, the answer is really simple. If you're on Uber Disad, there's pretty much only one correct thing to do. You might try sack wave, but it's really difficult to run a sack wave into an indoor position like that. So here's what I highly suggest you do. Every time, make sure you know where their sniper is. So that means you don't have anyone peek except for not the medic, essentially. Just have your demo come over here, look for their sniper, make sure you know where they're holding. Let your sniper come over here, take this SVS into Bath. All this stuff is pretty fun. You get the gist of it. So just do that shit. And make sure you guys are trying to spot their sniper first. So if their sniper's not in that main doorway on Bathhouse, make sure you're next checking, obviously, over on your own ruins, because their sniper will sometimes play on your own ruins. He'll sit right there, and he'll try to take that long angle. If he does that, this is a little too long for you to deal with the sniper yourself. Your sniper needs to come over. Sorry, as a combo, you can't deal with that sniper. It's too long of an angle. You can't get close enough within any kind of respectable scenario. But I do recommend that your sniper comes over here, plays dance floors, tries to take this angle over here, because your sniper can lock their combo out from here, and then come over here and wide peek for their sniper, and just kind of take a twofer. Meanwhile, your combo should not continue to pressure from under bats. Your combo should walk out from main if their sniper is on your ruins, and then try to take this fight from a close position. Obviously, your sniper should still be over there, making sure their combo doesn't peek from Bathhouse here for free, so that you get to take one fight at a time instead of dealing with two fronts. But then, yeah, you just need to, like, push their flank back over here, make sure they don't get that for free. And obviously, that way you get to pressure their sniper back too. It's a win-win. So, back to my original train of thought. What do you do? First things first. What do you do on Uber Disad? This is the most important thing, because a lot of people get this wrong. What do you do on Uber Disad? Well, your medic needs to be pretty far back over here. Your medic needs to be basically, when you guys are coming over here and trying to take this push, your medic needs to be ready to leave. Like, sitting right here, already ready to get the hell out from under bats. You're going to need your heavy, your pyro, and your scout. All over here. So your scout needs to play as a combo member, like non-negotiable. Your scout needs to be here if you're pushing on Disad, and the reason will be really apparent why. So your heavy is just going to be running fists, and he's going to be kind of starting cap over here, trying to get as much cap time as possible to bait them out of bathhouse and to force them to make a move. You don't want to let them just sit there for free. Your pyro can also get the cap time while spy checking simultaneously over here. Your scout, if your scout wants to, can kind of tap that point every once in a while, get a little ×2 action going, but really your scout just needs to sit here and be ready to stay with your medic. While this is happening, your demo should get a buff, 260 over here from your medic, and then just needs to lob stickies into this doorway. It's literally your demo's only responsibility. He does not need to take a nice aggressive position in order to help cap, because once you walk up here, well, you're just going to eat shit from the heavy, the demo, everything. It's just too much shit to handle. So your demo needs to be kind of sticking to the bottom of that staircase where you can kind of just lob stickies and kind of like deal, just choke them off from this position. Don't let them peek for free. Your demo can eventually kind of like get wider and wider, but yeah, just don't overcommit as a demo. So just sticky this off, choke this off, and start the cap. The net effect should be that when they're holding in bathhouse, you want them to not be able to walk out and block the cap with their body, because they'll be walking through a hailfire of demo spam. And you also want to have enough spam through this doorway through the doorway from your demo, such that they can't just keep a sniper right here shooting people on point, because you don't want to let them just do this. And even if they do, well, you should be just healing your players on point. And this is kind of a rough distance to consistently damage them. And that's why having a pyro there helps too, because if they have a demo that just tries to like lob pipes through this doorway, your pyro should just try to reflect as much of that and prevent that damage from hitting. So it should be easy enough. Alright, so when they do all that stuff, and when you guys are doing all that stuff, and they realize that they can't hold effectively in bathhouse, and stuff you guys and stop you guys from capping, they're going to want to Uber out, and they're going to want to chase you guys. And this is where it is so important that your medic is ready to leave, and it is already like ready. Medic was all the way back here. It's like, I'm thinking I'm ready, and this is why you needed your scout here. So your demo is going to be in front here. Your demo's probably going to die. I'm not even going to make any bones about it. It's just too close. They're probably just going to shoot him out immediately, but your demo was critical for this. So your scout's over here. You get the call. They Ubered. Your scout immediately connects to your medic. Your medic immediately latches onto your scout. Just run. Just get the fuck out of there. Don't even stay. Don't even come close to trying to be in. Just get out. Your entire goal there was to force that Uber, to make sure that they guaranteed that, to guarantee that they used Uber in a safe manner, while also making sure your medic was safe enough to leave. And then once you repush, you can try to use that advantage to just try to you can just try to repush off of Uber advantage, and then just try to like cap the point like normal, because now they can't Uber into you. So that is really just simply as straightforward as it can get. You just want to bait cap, start that as much as possible, and then make sure that when they Uber out, your medic is just ready to go instantly, and you need your scout over here for that to happen. So it's really that simple. Yeah. The other method to push this, if you guys are on Uber Disad, is to just play the pansy. Just sit back here, build Uber while you're trying to work your sniper to an angle. Once you get your medic to full Uber, then you're like, okay, I guess we take a straight Uber push like normal. And then you do the same thing. You literally do the exact same thing when you have Uber, except instead of giving up the ground and kiting, you meet their aggression. You come forward, you bring your medic over here to flash in your demo, and you try to walk in and kill everything behind while they're trying to walk their scout in. And you just like bring players forward to deal with that and clear them out of bathhouse. So it's literally the same thing, except you don't kite, you commit. Alright, that is the basics of dealing with the bathhouse holders. Really, yeah, there's not too much for me to say on that regard. You just need to force them out. And, give them a reason to leave. Not necessarily fight them on their own terms, just give them a reason to get out of there. Alright. So I'm gonna anticipate a few questions from the audience, the students in the office, real quick. I'm just gonna run through some random stuff, and hopefully you guys will have learned something by the end of this, depending on what your questions were. So, Soldier, what should your soldier do if you're... What should your general aim as a soldier be if you don't want to consistently take bathhouse? Well, like I said, at the start, it is pretty simple. If you don't want to take bathhouse, you don't feel confident about that because you don't have a scout there, you just need to do the high bomb off of this and go play behind them. It's pretty easy to consistently do, nothing terribly wrong with this, and then you can just kind of chase their sniper out, hound their sniper in the back, and make sure they don't get to have a sniper for free, and then you can also have them just kind of play behind from here, and then keep chasing kills, go for the medic also. What I like doing that is objectively not very good, but it's just fun as all get out, is the moment you whip your heavy around this corner, I just like to take a low bomb off of this. You just sail directly across the point, you'll be faster, and you'll actually sail over the point with the whip speed rather than what I did, which is kind of a pansy-ass pogo. But then this is a super low bomb. Obviously, the problem with super low bombs is they're really easy to deny, but if you manage to get through without being denied, it's really easy for them to shoot you and deal enough damage before you are already in their face and landing shit tons of damage. Alright. So that's more or less for the soldier. Here's a couple other things as a soldier. When you walk up over here, it can be really easy to be tempted to just come over here and like try to trade fights. I highly recommend once you've launched enough damage to start with and their soldiers like trying to work his way in, you just jump in and you steal the pack immediately, because this way you've denied their soldier of any kind of you know, war of attrition. You just come in, take that pack, and you can commit all the way through too. And yeah, it's just best way to fight this is to control the health pack. When you guys are holding bathhouse, you'll see a lot of soldiers like to just sit up here and spam this doorway because no one gets to walk through for free. If they try to walk straight for the health pack, your soldiers like got a nice angle, just control this. It's really, really difficult to really knock a soldier off that position. So that's really straightforward there. So for your pyro, what does your pyro want to do on this? Obviously, you're basically just going to play bitch pyro. There's really not much to it. You don't really have a choice in this matter. There's not much flexibility for pyros nowadays, and even less on Lakeside. So, where should you look for spies? That's the big question. Well, spies like to decloak right about there, like right over there. So, a lot of spies will decloak on bats and on dance floor, and they're not even going to actually come in for a stab. They're just going to sit up there and pepper with the revolver. I actually think that's a better way to play, which I'll talk about when spies ask the question, but how do I play Lakeside? It's so open. Where's the decloak spots? I'll get to you guys. Just relax. So yeah, so a lot of spies will decloak up there and just pepper. So you're going to be aware of that, and you just kind of need to keep an eye on for that. If you're running a flare gun of some kind, obviously you can light him on fire and then keep him at bay that way, but a lot of pyros don't like running a flare gun because it's easier to have a shotgun so that you can take a fight with your combo when you really need to, because, you know, damage output and cleanup, the capacity for cleaning up kills is really needed on Lakeside. So, you know, most pyros will opt for shotgun of some kind over here. But yeah, just like keep an eye out over there. Spies also decloak behind here and then around a corner if you guys are playing too far away from this obelisk. So, you know, just do it quick there. Also over here. Don't just check inside here. Spies will also wait on this side because then they can go, like, hug the wall over here, pretend they're a teammate, and just cross, all this fun stuff. And spies also decloak here behind where your demo can't spot, and then they back up into the stab, so just check that. And, you know, obviously, if they're on flank, that happens too, so just be aware of that. When you guys are holding in bathhouse, like I said, you guys are over here trying to look that way. Spies will decloak here, and here, for that matter. Spies will decloak back here on your side, and they'll try to cross the room. They're going to decloak like super aggressively in here, where he's trying to hope that you guys are too clustered to be able to see, and then he also decloaks all the way at the back over here and goes for your flank instead, which honestly there's not much you can do about as a pyro, so just be aware of that. Alright, so heavy. Oh, wait, I'm going to talk about demo real quick first. So as demo, there's a couple nice little tricks you can think about. So first of all, when I was talking about that fighting on mid-fight and holding on the mid-fight, I talked about just laying stickies on the top of that staircase here. This is really nice, really good way to just kind of deny aggression, but obviously you have the other things you can do, which is to trap up their side of the obelisk. This way, your goal here is if they're trying to like take a fight across and they're trying too hard to nudge this side or try to play that, then you just kind of det on them. Pretty cool. Here's another thing that I've seen a demo do that I really like, is to trap up over this side over here. So this is a lot more niche, but it relies on players that love to get super aggressive over on the far side of point. And obviously their demo is going to try to like skate over this way to try to get the wide angle so that he's in a better sticky angle. And it's just a nice trap to consistently try to kill their demo. It gets a lot of stuff done. Other traps that are kind of neat sometimes is also this trap, which a lot of people don't see coming, and, you know, just come over here. and Lake Stickies. This is also another one that's great. It's just right inside the bush. This is great for when you guys own the point and you just want to get a cheeky trap, because a lot of people don't check that bush before they walk in and start trying to take that push. So just, yeah, trap that. You might get a free demo kill and you get to walk at them and clean up after you get the combo pick. So just, you know, easy kills there. Alright, heavy. I mean, where's my Gru rollout? Loadout. There we go. Heavy. So the obelisk position is the most obvious one, where you just get to peek around the corner as needed, and that'll help your combo the most in straightforward positions. But apart from that, you should not underestimate the simple act of just peeking over the top like here, because you can just get a lot of damage by sort of head glitching from this position. It's not perfect, but it is one thing. And then here's the actual head glitch, which should be called the head glitch spot, so you all know what it is. This is the head glitch spot right here. Don't walk all the way up, because then you're a lot more vulnerable, but just kind of hide a little further back, and you just kind of do this, and you've got a nice head glitch spot. It's a little difficult for other heavies to punish you from. Other than that, here's a nice little thing you can do if you really want to play hyper aggressively. You don't want to deal with the edging strat if you guys are trying to push into them on a bath household. What I've seen a lot of heavies do is they'll come over, like walk up the stairs, take a buff, cross this, and they'll play on top of this while trying to deal with the bath household. So they'll play super close, and the moment anyone tries to peek halfway aggressively, the heavy just walks out and starts shredding everyone here. So it's a nice, really hyper-aggressive way to play against the bath household that you might appreciate. Engineer. So like I have to talk about with virtually every Koth map, do not place a dispenser on that mid-fight. Do not place a dispenser on that mid-fight. Do not place a dispenser on that mid-fight. Your best bet is to just show up and start placing mini sentries as early as possible. The faster you win the mid-fight, the less your team even needs the dispenser, because dispensers are mostly useful on Koth for ammo, not really for health. So as long as your team just wins the fight, they're not spending that much ammo, it's pretty cool. Just come over here, drop a mini sentry, take the fight. I recommend, you know, just what I like doing as an engineer, if you're trying to take the fight bathhouse route, is to just run straight in with your soldier, drop a mini, and then go away from your mini. Don't sit there and build it, because what you want to do is you want to put their soldier in a position where he has to either kill your mini or kill you, and whichever one he chooses, the other one is left still fighting him, and then your soldier just walks in and kills things, obviously. If you're not so much of the flank fighting kind of guy, and your combo is kind of just asking to be hard, you know, they're just asking for super combo positioning, just put it kind of far back. Don't have it play close, don't have it, you know, like in a spam angle, just kind of keep it fairly far back. A lot of players just keep it in this yard over here. A lot of other NGs will actually keep it closer to the ramp, so that it watches more of the flank side of the point, but I really prefer just kind of smack in the middle of the yard. It's pretty nice. And then you just have to sit around here and control this fight. You know, like, just sit there. Here's the thing that I highly recommend you do if you're playing close to your combo, is you dedicate yourself to doing nothing but spy checking, because what this frees up is for your pyro to sit next to your demo, reflect spam, and just take fights with your demo with the shotgun. Because you're just sitting right here literally keeping your eyes glued to the back, and you know, you don't have to do anything except let your mini sentry aimbot for you, and then you just sit here and watch for spies. And while you're waiting around, I guess this is a decent time to put a dispenser up. You know, well, you're doing nothing else. It's not like you're taking a fight and winning the mid-fight outright, so yeah, there you go. That's cool. Alright, so then you guys have bathhouse, you guys are aggressively holding. Here's a couple nice things I like doing, is again, like I talked about, having a super aggressive mini. So the nice thing about a super aggressive mini on their side of ruins is that you're not really planning on, like, having this mini sentry do much until they try to push you guys. So you can sit here, spam them, and when they're trying to push into you, you back up, and your mini sentry's covering you, because if they try to walk through, suddenly they're taking damage from the mini sentry. You guys have access to a full health pack, and you come in and re-push them when they're hurt, and they've like been surprised by that mini sentry. So this is a really common thing to do. Just have that mini sentry pretty aggressive. Otherwise, this is also a pretty good aggressive mini sentry spot. If you don't want to walk all the way out there, you don't feel like you want to take that risk, this is another alternatively pretty reasonable position, just up there. Alright, as far as teleporter spots go, I only accept 2 teleporter spots in this game. The one is the really straightforward, really easy to understand, over in underneath ramp. Really easy, really simple. That one's fine. The other one that is acceptable is over here in main. So, here's the reason I do not accept anything else. You put it too far over to the right there, your flank cannot take it. You put it too far over to the left over there, over in ruins, in that little spot that everyone thinks is a teleporter spot, your combo can't take it. Your heavy's going to show up over here and he can't reconnect to your medic in time. It's just atrocious. Do not ever put it on either side. Always put it closer to the middle. Over here is good. Over there in main is good. Anything else, wrong, wrong, wrong. I don't like it. Medic. What does a medic do here? So really the question is obviously just a matter of positioning. Here's what I highly recommend you do. Number one, do not hug the wall. So this is the same mistake you can make on Asheville, and it's the same mistake a lot of players make on Asheville, is they think that you hug the wall over on ramp, and then you're safe because you can't take a lot of spam. I'm on the quick fix loadout, that's fun. They think you can't take a lot of spam, but the problem is then you just get rushed and you have no idea what's coming. You don't even see your teammates, so you don't even know who's hurt and who needs healing, and you're not in a good position to arrow them. Always play a little further back over here, and then the moment spam starts coming your way and you feel like you might take it, and you can kind of kite a little further away here, and if you really must, then you can start ducking into this position, but you don't really want to like literally hug under obelisk. This is a position where your your combo players, your power classes will duck into, get an arrow, get healed up, and then they'll round the corner back in. But as a medic, you need that situation awareness. You really need it. You need to know if there's a bomb coming for you. You need to know if there's a soldier spamming rockets from that position. If you don't know shit, you're gonna die. You guys are doing the forward hold on point. Obviously, you just need to sit right here. Just kind of like heal people from this position. Kind of stay alive. Check your own back. Don't let people come over on you. Your pyro should be coming, wrapping around here to help you every once in a while too, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But that's kind of it. When it comes to holding the bathhouse position, like I said, you just need to have dispenser over here under this arch, and you just need to nudge yourself up against this position and heal your players. You barely even need to move. It's that safe. Alright, as a sniper, I really just need to cover a couple unusual sniper sightlines that you might not know. So this is something that we've called for a long time in Highlander, the gay spot. This is very unusual. You just need to come up over here, and then you need to walk up this. See how you slowly walk up? So, you're not going to be able to see it unless there's someone actually on point, but this lets you see head height onto point. So if their demo's trying to play hyper-aggressive, or they've just got players that are trying to like do some stupid stuff standing directly on the point, this is a good way for you to get a really cheeky shot in on their players on point. And once you get your pick, then you can kind of rotate out. The nice thing about this is that it's also basically impervious to SVS. It's really difficult to spot a sniper over here that's trying to play from this position, and it's really difficult to pressure him out. But obviously this means that you have no angle on anything that isn't the point, so you know, it is what it is. Here's the other spot that a lot of other players don't really recognize, just literally just playing in main. You get to control the point, same thing, except it's a much easier shot because it's not, you're not only seeing their heads, you get to see their entire bodies, you get to track their movement, it's much easier, and you also get to kind of look over on the right side a little bit, so you're not limited in terms of your sight line. Plus, it's actually really safe. Their combo cannot spam you. The main thing you have to worry about is a spy, so just, you know, count to 10, make sure that you've counted to 10 so that you know that their sniper isn't going to come on top of you, and then once you've counted to 10, be like, okay, I'm done here, move over, play next to combo. Like I mentioned before, this tends to be my go-to for if I were to play sniper. Just come over here, take control of ruins first, and then you come over here, take this wide angle. But once you do control bathhouse, here's a really stupid gimmicky sightline that probably doesn't actually do anything for you, but it's still pretty funny nonetheless. This looks onto point. This lantern is not solid. You can shoot straight through it, so you can shoot people's heads through this lantern. The other thing is obviously just stand on top of the lantern, but this is slightly less funny than if you're doing this if you were doing this through the ruins. Other thing is you just sit right here, stare directly into their main, and don't let them walk out for free. So this is always a fun thing to do. Just have your crosshair nudged up against this so that they don't see the red dot, and then when you see that their heal beam's coming through, start pre-aiming. Pretty fun stuff. Alright, as a spy, so what do you do as a spy? Because you feel like, oh no, Flare, I can't do anything. It's too open, I can't decloak anywhere. I can't go for any kind of fancy stuff. Well, literally, you basically have three things you can do consistently. So first of all, I don't recommend most of the time that you really try to go for stabs on their combo. It's really difficult because it's too open, it's too easy to spot you coming, so you have three things you can do. Number one, the super obvious thing. Okay, I'm just gonna hunt down their sniper permanently. Their sniper tries to play separately from combo, I'm just gonna go walk at him with the gun and just shoot him every time, or like go straight for the stab. So if sniper's on bats, he's not protected by the combo, you just cloak your way over there, decloak, run at him, kill him. That's pretty fun, pretty cool stuff, pretty neat. Same thing on bridge, same thing on ruins. If he happens to not be close to the flank, you get the idea, just hunt the sniper down. Second thing, go play with your flank. It's literally as straightforward as that. Just go play with your flank, consistently create openings for them in bathhouse, because there's much better decloak spots here. As long as you just time your decloaks with your flank, you're going to have much better openings. Just have them like say flank, pressure, pressure, and because flank players don't have people who are dedicated to watching for spy 24/7, unlike the pyro, you can just have your soldier create a distraction, you walk in, get the stab, there you go, you've consistently created an opening for your flank. It's an easy way to play this. Third, like I've mentioned when I was talking about the pyro, you just need to come over here, start playing over on their bats, and just start harassing their combo. Same thing like your soldier would be doing, except you can put out actually a fairly a fairly comparable amount of damage to a soldier who is doing this, trying to do this consistently. Sure, your revolver shots would only deal about 30 damage compared to the soldier's 40 to 50 splash damage, but the difference is you actually get the damage out faster than the soldier would do it, because your revolver's got a faster fire rate, you've obviously got a hit scan, so you're better at cleaning up damage, and if they try to chase you, you can kind of just like cloak off and leave, so you're a little safer, plus you reload all 6 shots at once, unlike a soldier who has to reload 1 at a time, so his downtime's a little worse. But it's the basic, the idea is the same, literally. It's just show up over here, start shooting at their combo. If they turn around and start trying to shoot it, you're just like, aha, JK lol. Not really, didn't plan on doing that. And then finally, here's the last thing you can do. If you realize you really suck at this game and you don't have anything better to do, you can always revert to being an utter fucking bitch and just come over here and spawn camp. And that's like, I'm just saying, if you do this, you've already lost the game and you know it. You just kind of, you know that you're kind of a useless sack of shit. So go find something better to do with your life. Looking at you, Michael Lele. Spawn camping, buddy. Alright, well, that is pretty much it. Covered a lot of nice little details. You got your mid-fight, you got your defense, you got your push. And just once again, just remember, if you got any questions, at me in lecture discussion on the office. Recorded reviews will not be a regular thing. Do not expect this to happen over and over again. You should be showing up live. You should be showing up to ask questions, because otherwise you're just kind of wasting your own time. And, you know, you're going to become too reliant on reading a textbook, basically. Don't read a textbook. Show up to lectures. Be a man. Be a good student. There you go. See you, fellas.